defense exhibit 2 into evidence, and there should be no redactions. I do want him to keep that there because there's going to be more questions.
Not for the purpose of preliminary hearing.
Thank you. It's received and admitted.
All right. So now let me sort of walk you through.
Hold on. While I'm thinking about it, you're recording, correct? Can you redact the recording? Can you go back and take out certain things?
In post, yeah, I can.
I'm ordering you to do that. Do you understand what part I'm ordering you to redact? Thank you. And you same with you, you can redact? I'm ordering that too. I'm sorry, it was on my mind, Ms. Tangaro. I hate to throw you off your cross-examination, but please continue.
I caused the problem. Okay, so when the CAD call comes in on May 21st, how does that come in? Is that a phone call as far as you can tell?
Yeah, I mean, it says that the RP or the reporting person is calling back in, so I assume that it was just called in through our non-emergency number.
Okay, and then you officially get assigned the case on May 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you plan an interview for June 3rd, 2025.
Yes, ma'am.
And that interview, is that how you normally do it in St. George, where you have a different person, a forensic interviewer, do the interview?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's Cassidy Rally.
Yes,
Is she in the courtroom today?
she is.
Okay. I thought that was her, but I'm not sure. And during that interview, a different friend of the alleged victim shows up with her.
Correct.
And that other person is the alleged victim's roommate and best friend.
I believe so, yes.
And you learn at that time that that other person was actually home on this night at the, how would you describe their living? Is it a townhome, a condo?
It's a townhome. It's a unit of townhomes, and they occupied one of the units.
Have you ever been there?
I have not.
You haven't gone to the scene?
No, ma'am.
You've never gone to the scene of where this allegedly occurred?
No, ma'am.
So I can guess there's no photos,
Correct.
no measurements,
Correct.
no layout?
Correct.
Okay, so you learned that the best friend who was home that night is with the alleged victim, and you do a quick interview with this friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Your interview is 2 minutes and 21 seconds long.
Correct.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it was a short interview.
And 30 seconds of that is a body cam basically ramping up so we can't hear anything.
Yeah, it records 30 seconds prior to me activating the body camera.
Okay. And you don't ask this person any information about when or how the alleged victim told her about the event?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay. Let's move later in the case. After you've screened for charges, charges have been filed, Parker has been arrested, you go back and re-interview this roommate slash best friend.
Yes, ma'am.
That interview was 3 minutes long?
I don't recall the exact length.
Not very long.
Correct.
And you learned during that interview that the alleged victim actually went into roommate's bedroom and I think got into bed with her the night of the event after Parker had left.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't ask her what the alleged victim told her about?
I believe she had told me that the alleged victim didn't disclose anything to her.
You don't ask her about her demeanor?
No, ma'am.
Clearly, given these interviews, this best friend slash roommate didn't have any concerns that something had happened that night, right?
Nothing was disclosed to her, no.
And she didn't say anything to you about demeanor or being worried or anything like that?
Not that I can recall.
So Then there's a huge pause in this investigation while you're waiting on DNA.
Yes, ma'am.
During that time, you don't go interview or talk to Parker?
No, ma'am.
At this time, as far as you know, Parker has zero idea that he's been accused of this.
Correct.
You ultimately do a search warrant for his cell phone, I think, on November 19th. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, about then.
Why'd you wait so long for a search warrant on the phone?
Just as part of my process, I wanted to wait for the DNA to come back first before I took any other steps.
Was that a decision you made on your own? Was it in consultation with prosecutors?
No, I didn't discuss it with the prosecutors
Your Honor,
before.
I'm going to interject at this point. This is all interesting. I don't know what it has to do with probable cause, how he did his investigation, the timing of when he submitted evidence. I would object that it's not relevant for the purpose of this hearing.
Utah Rules of Criminal Procedure 7B allow the defendant to cross-examine adverse witnesses. Ms. Tangaro is doing that. The objection's overruled.
Did you ever look at the alleged victim's phone?
No, I did not.
You didn't ever ask to see if there were any messages or download her phone or look at it?
No, because like I said, the messages that she indicated, they only communicated via Snapchat. And so I wouldn't have, the reason I wrote a search warrant on the defendant's phone was because I had heard, or through the forensic interview, the alleged victim had said that she heard rumors that he was messaging people and talking to other people. So I felt that there may be messages stored on either iMessages or different applications on the phone.
Okay. You never found any messages from the alleged victim setting these boundaries or any discussion about between Parker and the alleged victim prior to meeting up on that night, correct?
Correct.
And then you ultimately have a sergeant at BYU basically have Parker come in and seize his phone.
Correct.
You did not go up to BYU and do that.
No, I did not.
I do have a question for you about your interactions with the alleged victim. She was definitely worried about media, right?
Correct.
In fact, she notes to you during her forensic interview that she's aware of the Jake Retzlaff situation, correct?
She didn't name that particular, but she said a teammate of the defendant.
And so, at what point did you, I mean, you knew Parker Kingston played football for BYU, right?
I actually had no idea who he was until this case.
Right,
So I
me
got his
either. But my point is, as you're doing your investigation, you know,
Oh, yes, ma'am, yeah.
because you're kind of telling her like, oh, don't worry, this won't hit the media.
Right.
Did you not realize?
No, I had told her that in my very first interaction with her, or not very first, but after the forensic interview. And I had said that because I had no idea who he was and that he was a social media figure or a football player.
Okay, because you even are like, golly gee, I don't know where to find this kid, right?
Correct.
And clearly, we all know where he was every probably Saturday.
Right.
All right, and then Mr. Sham talked about that interview with Parker. That was with a different attorney,
Correct.
and you go to their office,
Yes, ma'am.
and Parker comes in,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? And that interview is actually, I think, 47 minutes long, correct?
Correct.
It's a lengthy interview with Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
He answers all your questions.
Yes, ma'am.
He lets you know that everything that was involved that night was consensual.
That was his account of it, yes.
He even tells you that during the sexual activity, she was on top for some of it.
Correct.
And so he gives that full interview. And I don't know if it was you or the other detective, are kind of asking about these messages with Kel and are saying, hey, man, is this just two bros talking? Correct?
Correct,
And Parker says, yeah.
correct.
You talked to Parker about the fact that he's getting engaged in 3 days.
Yes, ma'am.
You ask him all about what the circumstances of that is going to be.
Yes, ma'am.
He answers all those questions.
Yes, ma'am.
You leave that office,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you request, I think a week later, you request a no-bail arrest warrant.
I did not request a no bail.
Objection, Your Honor. That's completely irrelevant.
That's irrelevant.
You did not request a warrant?
That's irrelevant. Whether he requested it or whether the amount of that warrant is irrelevant to today's hearing. The objection sustained. Move on, please.
So at the time, let me ask you this. When did you actually receive a copy of the sexual assault nurse exam?
I can refer to my notes.
Okay, please do.
On November 13th, I received results from the crime lab for the alleged victim's sexual assault exam.
I'm not asking that. When did you actually receive the sexual assault nurse exam report and review it?
Not the, I apologize, not the.
That's okay.